Welcome back to the ranch, y'all. This is Ruby. I wanted to do a video about each horse, and I'm going to start with Ruby because I think a lot of people, if you know me from my other channel, you know Leon already. So let's start with Ruby. Ruby is a 17-year-old half Arabian. I bought her for $1 from my neighbor after I leased her for about 3 or 4 months, and we became very connected. My neighbor finally said, "That's your horse." And legally, I had to give her at least $1. So I did. My son actually paid for her because he had $1 in his pocket. She is very small. She is 14 hands on a good day, and if her hooves need a good trim. Small size means she has a big attitude. She definitely has some sassy pants.
We're gonna try this. Oh. Wait.
The beauty of where we live is that we literally can walk right off of our property on horseback and out into the national forest. And we're going to walk down the street in our neighborhood to get to an easement, which is a neighbor's driveway, which takes us right out onto the trail system in the national forest. So we're still working on gates with Bitsy, and Ruby is working on not taking charge of the gates because she knows exactly what to do, and she's a great gate opener and closer.
Good girl. Good girl. Walk.
So going out, the horses get a little nervous while we are on the street. A neighbor recently got some goats about a year ago, and the horses are still kind of nervous about those goats. So it is a little nerve-wracking walking out on the asphalt.
Easy. Walk on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl, Rubes.
Amazingly, this is exactly where Ruby relaxed. You'll see that she sort of quit turning to the left. She's not really very antsy. Her ears are coming back on me. Her head's a lot more relaxed. The minute we get here, she's okay. And we are only going to be on this road till we get to the end of it. And I swear she looks both ways before she crosses the street.
They're always so worried to go down that road. Good girl. Yeah, what a good girl. What a good girl, Ruby. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby Ding Dong. Good girl, Rubes. Good pony. Good pony. Yeah, good pony. Good pony. Good girl, walk on. Good girl. I swear she looks down the street. Yeah. Every time I feel like she looks down the street.
This is a neighbor's driveway, which is also the easement for the neighborhood for us to get out onto the trail. So we will walk by here, and then we're going to magically end up on the trail.
Rubes. Good girl. Good pony. Good pony.
You'll notice that I always talk to my horses a lot, where I say good girl or good boy or good pony. I've always been told to always talk to your horse. Also, whenever I go out on group trail rides, I notice that my horses are always much more relaxed when the people that are riding them are talking to each other. So I think the act of talking means that there's no danger and we are relaxed. So I like to talk to my horses. Sometimes I'll sing a song to my horses. I do like to make up ridiculous little
Good girl,
jingles
Rubes.
about how silly they are,
pony.
or how Ruby likes to dive bomb for
Good
grass
pony, Ruby.
and fart. She enjoys those two things a lot. See, that was a dive bomb
Good
for grass
pony.
right there. Drive-by snacking. That's what Ruby is very, very good at.
No rodeos today, girls. No rodeos.
Ruby really hates it if another horse gets too close to her.
Do you hear that, Ruby? There's no rodeos today. I know it's Sunday, but we're not rodeoing. Not today. What do we say to death? Not today.
We have actually had an incident where Ruby
Got it,
kicked a
Rubes?
horse
Not
that got
today.
too close to her, and that was not
Not
a
today,
fun
Ruby.
adventure.
I need a sticker. No rodeos. You can put it on my little crop here. You think you can hold her back if I trot a little up here?
I'm asking my husband if he can keep Bitsy back because she is a gaited horse and she moves way faster than a trotted horse does. Ruby does have an incredibly fast trot, and that little head toss is her being an Arabian and wanting to really go fast, but I want to hold her back because A, she goes very fast, and B, she can get in her head a little bit.
Walk. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Good morning.
It was a beautiful morning and it was a weekend, and so we encountered a few hikers and bikers.
Good girl.
These hikers did the correct thing. They took their dogs and got off trail and were waiting for us
Good
to
girl,
pass.
Ruby.
Luckily, both of our horses that we were on are very accustomed to dogs and humans, so they weren't going to overreact
That's what I
to
always tell people
anything.
when I'm hiking.
The
They're
people
like,
were
"No, no,
very
you go ahead."
kind.
I'm like,
They
"No,
made
no,
sure to stay
I'll
off of the
take the
trail. We
break."
talked to them so
It's
that
fine.
the horses didn't think that they were monsters,
I
because it
understand
turns out that monsters don't talk. So if you encounter a horse out on a trail, just say hello and speak, and the horses will usually not be afraid of
Good
you
girl,
because
Ruby.
they know that you are not a monster.
Good girl. Let's not eat the grass. This is just gonna be a trail ride full of dive bombs. Okay. Did you just try to eat a grasshopper? Sorry, Rubes. I know that's probably really annoying. But what's even more annoying is that we keep listing over to the right. I'm gonna trot just a little bit. Good girl. Good girl, Rubes. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. That was a good girl.
There are a couple of reasons why I don't trot Ruby very far.
Good girl.
Number one is she will get in her head and really take off.
Good girl,
She really
Ruby.
enjoys running. She is an Arab after all. The other reason is
There's some more
because she
horses.
has had an injury in her back, one of her back legs, a
Good
couple of
girl.
times, and one of those injuries was very severe. This was years ago. She's recovered from it fully. She doesn't show any signs of
Good
pain.
girls.
I have had vets check her out, but I am a little paranoid and don't want to run her too much and make her lame the next
know.
day.
You know what? I
So
feel
we
like-
don't trot very far.
I do forget how much fun Ruby is to ride. She is fun. Sometimes she can be a little nuisance, but she's fun. I don't think she tries to be a nuisance. I think it just comes naturally. Man, it's a beautiful day. It's way better than yesterday. I think this was a way better choice. I'm gonna trot to those trees, or as far as she'll let me. Good girl. Easy. Come on. Good girl. Easy. Good girl, Ruby. What a good girl. What a good pony.
A little more than that for
Gait.
it's gallop girls.
Did a little canter.
But there's probably into the bush right in front of us. Can't get through it.
Yeah, the thing about older horses is that if you trot them enough, they get tired, and then, you know, less chance of things happening.
This also applies to the older women who are riding those horses. FYI.
Good girl, Rubes.
The
Thought I
area
heard
we
a
are coming
horse
up
coming up
to
behind
is
you.
a place where all the horses
I guess it
seem
was
to
just
get
you.
very nervous. It's very brushy. There are usually some deer hanging out. There's lots of
she doesn't like
birds
how
on
close you are.
these skeleton trees or
pooping.
ghost trees, as they're called.
Haha, one less pile we gotta clean up. Gotta remember it for the count.
Since Ruby pooed back there just then, I was a little nervous that she was a bit nervous walking in this area. She does not like this area at all, and she will spook from
Good girl,
birds in
Rubes.
this area, which is ridiculous because
Good
this horse sees birds
pony.
all the time. But we have seen
Good
coyotes
girl, Ruba
and
Luba.
deer back in this area as well. So I usually talk to the horses a lot while we are walking
Good
through
girl,
here
Ruba Luba.
because it's so brushy and a little scary. And sometimes I will even call out to the deer and the coyotes to go away,
Good
go somewhere else, that sort of thing.
Good girl, Rubes.
My husband is struggling behind me. I can't really see him to tell what he is struggling with, but I can tell that he's struggling. So he asks me to stop, which is when I
Yep.
turn around. And the problem is I don't want to be standing in this brushy area where the horses are easily spooked while he needs to fix something.
Are you just gonna take it off?
So we
you
start
pulling?
trying to
Does she have her
troubleshoot what's going
tongue
on with
over
his
the bit?
bridle. But at the same time, I'm very
No, she
nervous that
doesn't.
I'm just standing here in this
I just
brush.
wouldn't-
I know
Are
that
you
Ruby's
pulling too
eating,
much?
so that means that she's not terribly scared, but that doesn't mean that
that's
she isn't going to spook.
Just
So
in my experience.
I
with that.
decide that we need to keep
Good
moving
girl.
because I don't
Good
really want to be in
girl.
this brushy area with nervous horses.
I just don't want to. I don't want to stand right here because there's a lot of critters and things. I think she's nervous. That's why I didn't want to stand here. Because there's a lot of brush, places for things to hide. So I think she might just be nervous. And what you can do is you can serpentine her. You can kind of make her, do an S. So make her walk on that side a little. So you would do like this and then like this. And that makes her have to pay attention to you so she doesn't get in her head about what might be out here. But we're gonna trot just a smidgen. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
These are famous last words. I start trotting, and then I hear behind me.
Good girl. Walk. Walk. Good girl.
It's actually gonna explode on me. You just did.
Okay. Yeah? Go over here. Come on.
So my husband says that he felt like she was going to explode on him, and then she did. So he asked if he could get in the front. She was just too nervous. Also, Ruby is a very slow mover, so Bitsy probably was also
Good girl.
feeling a little nervous having to stay behind Ruby so closely, but not get too close to her because Ruby might kick her. It's a whole ordeal. Ruby's a
Good
very
girl, Ruby.
persnickety horse. You have to do it just the right way. So once we switched places and Bitsy went in front,
Good girl.
things got much better, way more calm. Everyone seemed okay. Ruby was a little irritated that they would get so far
Sorry.
ahead, so we
Sorry,
were having
Rubes.
to
Good girl.
kind of call
girl,
them
Ruby.
back so that they would slow
Good girl,
down.
Ruba, Ruba, ding
A
dong.
Tennessee walking horse is
Good girl,
gated,
Ruba,
which
Ruba, ding
means
dong.
they move all four
Yeah.
legs independently, and they are very fast at their walk. So a regular quarter horse or trotted horse walk is very slow compared to a gated horse's walk.
Does she
And
feel better in the front?
Bitsy is a super fast horse. So the rest of this, you get
Good
to
girl,
watch
Rubes.
my husband and Ruby's little
Good
ears,
girl.
and hopefully you enjoy it.
Good girl. No, you can. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, that's smart. And then the next time, circle her the other direction. If there's a next time. Just make her have to listen to you so that she doesn't get all in her head. Good girl, Rubes. Good girl. Yeah, that's the rabbit brush.
You may
Good
notice,
girl.
if you know things about horses,
Good
that
ponies.
Bitsy rings her hocks
Look at
on her back
ponies.
legs. That is a very common
good girl, Ruby.
Tennessee Walker trait, and it does not mean that she is neurological. Some folks who don't know about walkers in particular,
girl.
but gaited horses, will say that that is
not
a
eat
neurological
things.
sign, which it is
almost out
in
here.
trotted horses, but it
Then
is
we're on the
not
big
necessarily
trail.
a neurological sign in
And
a
then
Tennessee
it's
Walker.
all good in the hood. But remember, we can't go fast going home.
Ruby can't go fast going home because she will bolt.
Good girl, Rubes.
So some horses really want to get back to the barn,
Girl.
and they will speed up when they realize that you have turned back towards home. And Ruby is one of those. She is an incredibly intelligent horse,
girl.
and she knows when we are almost home. She also knows all of these trails better than I do.
Girls.
If I just sit on her and let her go, she will pick the shortest route and get us back home in about 10 minutes.
Good girl.
I have had moments on her where I'm like, that's not a trail, Ruby, and sure enough, it is a trail, and sure enough, she gets us home very
Good
quickly.
girls.
So we have to be very careful and not get fast when we go home. So this turn here is where the horses realize, oh, we're pointed back home now.
Yeah, you're
so
okay.
this is
Just
where
don't
we
go
start making our way
crazy
back
fast.
home.
Man, somebody out here has a really massive dog. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, is that a cougar print? And I was like, no, I think it's a dog print. And then I was like, is that a wolf? Like, what is that? But I don't think we have wolves out here. Ooh, look at the mountains. Pretty. Good girl, Rubes. And this was the moment she wished she also had a gaited horse. You're fine. I can trot to catch up to you. Ruby's used to doing that. That's a good pony, Ruby. Yep, you're checking behind you. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Can't believe the mountains got snow in August. That's crazy. I hope that's not a foretelling of the winter. It really did. It was cold. Well, it was 33 this morning when we woke up. Come on.
Every time a horse that we are with slows down so that Ruby can catch up, she thinks we are also getting a break, which I've tried to explain to her is not how this works, because her break is that
Good
she
girl,
barely
Rubes.
walks. It is a super slow walk, but that is
girl,
what she is
Ruby.
going to do. And really,
Good
we just
girl,
let Ruby
Ruby.
do what Ruby needs to do.
Good girl. See, you know that that's not good. That's why you speed up. You go in for the snatch and then you speed up.
The trail that we are on has a lot of mountain bikers, so every once in a while I am turning my head to see if there is a biker behind me, because I am terrible at recognizing when there is a
Good
biker
girl.
coming up behind me. We also are about to encounter a
Good
very
pony.
polite, very fun mountain biker who has the
Good
best
pony.
socks on.
Nope. Come on. Come on. Hello. She's very unsure of that mountain bike. Hey, I've got the exact same socks on, like right now. Nice socks.
I love these socks.
They're the best. Have a good ride. Thanks. Are you talking to me or the horse? Okay. Socks. Yeah. Darn tough. The ones with the little bear paddling the canoe. I think you got me those for Christmas, didn't you? I think so. Maybe I bought them myself. I buy a lot of things myself. Yeah, it's really pretty. I love that the mountains are clear. Gorgeous.
We are truly privileged to live where we
Ruby.
live and to be able to own horses
Good girl,
and have
Ruby.
hundreds of miles of national forest trails to go and explore on our horses. And it's amazing that my husband and I can go out on a Sunday morning and take in this view on our horses right outside of our front door, basically. We are incredibly grateful and privileged to live in such a
I think
beautiful
I'd much rather ride horses
area.
than go hiking too. Although I feel like hiking's a bit safer. It is exactly like hiking with a horse. Oh, you're a little grass grabber. Huh, Rubes? Little grass grabber. Yes, you are. You're a little grass grabber. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, ma'am. Good girls. What good girls.
Ruby has noticed another horse trotting up towards us. I did not get the whole interaction between our horses and that horse, but you do get to see the horse at the very end of this video. So she's very concerned about that horse coming up towards us and not really paying attention to going down this, what is actually a pretty steep hill, but doesn't look like it on video. I'm not sure if the audio picks it up, but my husband peels off of the trail and says to me, I'm just going to let you handle this, which is hilarious because Ruby hates other horses. We did talk to the lady on the horse, and it was her first solo trail ride on that horse specifically. So she was nervous. I told her we were nervous. We all laughed about it, and we all survived. So everything was fine. Happy trails. Thanks for coming along. Here's where my husband nopes out like Leon did to Bitsy in the last video, and he lets me go in front to figure out how to handle a trotting horse coming right at us.